Imagine you're driving down a quiet country road. It's late. The world is silent. Then headlights. A crash. You stop. Get out. Among the wreckage, you see a woman, silent, pale, staring right through you. And then she walks into the field and vanishes. This isn't fiction. This is the true story of Patricia Meehan, and it remains unsolved. Patricia Meehan was born in 1951 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She was the oldest of 3 children in a quiet, middle-class family. Friends and family described her as warm and caring, someone who loved animals and nature. She eventually pursued a degree in early childhood development, but later turned to a quieter life in Montana, working odd jobs and taking care of animals. She was deeply private, but those who knew her say something began to change. She became withdrawn. She spoke of being watched. She started taking long drives into the countryside with no explanation. April 20th, 1989. Around 8:15 p.m., Patricia left her rural home in Circle, Montana. She had been upset that day. Witnesses later said she seemed disoriented. That night, on Highway 200, she drove her car, a 1981 Chevy Citation, directly into the path of another vehicle. It was a head-on collision. The other driver was an off-duty police dispatcher. He was injured, but survived. Patricia stepped out of her wrecked vehicle, seemingly uninjured. She didn't speak. She made eye contact with the dispatcher, but it was empty, vacant. Then she turned, crossed the highway, climbed over a barbed wire fence, and walked into the darkness of a wide-open field. That was the last confirmed sighting. The response was immediate. Local police and volunteer search teams combed the surrounding area. Helicopters flew overhead with infrared cameras. They found no trail, no discarded clothing, no blood, nothing. Even search dogs lost her scent a few feet into the field. The field she walked into was vast, miles of open space, sparse vegetation, and cold spring air. Hypothermia was a real threat, but still no trace. Then the calls started coming in. Reports of a woman matching Patricia's description began surfacing from all over the Pacific Northwest. Over 5,000 tips would eventually pour in. A gas station attendant in Bozeman claimed a woman fitting Patricia's description bought snacks and left without saying a word. A waitress in Idaho said a similar woman came in, stared at a wall for 10 minutes, then left. A family in Spokane reported a woman knocking on their door asking for food. When they offered help, she ran into the woods. Police followed up on every lead, but they all led nowhere. Each woman was either not Patricia or disappeared before she could be identified. What happened to Patricia Meehan? Some believe the trauma of the crash triggered a mental break, possibly dissociative fugue, a rare condition where a person loses access to personal identity. Others believe she may have died of exposure in that field, and her body was simply never found. But there's another theory. Patricia orchestrated her own disappearance. Maybe she wanted to escape from what no one knows. Some even speculate she was picked up by someone after walking into the field. The most chilling detail? In some reports, the woman said her name was Patricia. Her family never stopped searching. They left the porch light on every night. They kept the same phone number for years. Patricia's photo stayed on the bulletin board at truck stops and police stations. Her father passed away in the early 2000s, still hoping she'd call. Her mother continued to work with missing persons organizations into her 80s. To this day, Patricia Meehan is still classified as a missing person, not deceased, not forgotten. Why does her story haunt us? Maybe because she didn't vanish into thin air, she walked into it. In a world full of cameras, databases, and digital footprints, how can someone just disappear? Was Patricia lost or hiding? Was she broken or escaping? Patricia Meehan may be gone, but her mystery? It remains.